have agreed to put together this diagnostic team to go from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes.
Thank you.
And answer every question you've got. And not one of them is going to start out with a preconceived notion that you're wrong about anything or that you're right about anything.
She knows. She watches them throw me right out of the office.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with my team.
Okay.
So I might not be quite as useless as you think.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. I'm just kidding you. All right, so we're going to get you these answers, okay?
Okay.
You support that?
Absolutely, 100%.
Right.
Thank you.
And then you come back here and tell us how it works.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
All right, fair enough? Okay. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to the PMP Center, Dr. Frank Lawless. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com, and you can join the conversation today on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time.
Right now at 6, a Cleveland Clinic doctor reopens the controversy over vaccines. We'll have the comments that has his job at stake. Plus, more debris pulled from Lake Erie in the search for that missing plane, what we're learning about the recovery effort. And an icy mix is on the way, what you need to know before tomorrow's commute. It's a beautiful day. And U2 is coming to Cleveland. What you can do to beat those ticket-buying robots to get a seat at the big show.
From the station that sees the possible, this is Channel 3 News, brought to you by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home. And now, Channel 3 News at 6.
And good evening. Sarah is off tonight. Are you ready for more winter? An icy mix is on the way, and it's expected to hit just in time for tomorrow morning's commute. Chief Meteorologist Betsy Kling is tracking what could be a big mess. Hi, Betsy.
Well, it could be, and I think that's the big question right now. Just how bad will it be? Keep in mind, we have been very cold, and now we're going to be warming up. And as we make that transition, air temperatures will warm up a lot faster than the ground temperatures. That's where the problem lies. You can see out to the west of us, there's some snow. We'll deal with that. But our harbinger of what is coming is just these few little blips over here in South Dakota. That is going to continue eastward. That is basically kind of a highlight of what's going on. We will have warmer air moving in. That's the good news. But again, the air will warm a lot faster than the ground. Now, I put a little fast one on you because you saw Northeast Ohio was highlighted in yellow. We do have a winter weather advisory. That will start up tonight at 3 a.m. It will go through 11 a.m. The timing could be adjusted a little bit, but that is for all of our counties with the exception of Tuscarawas and Carroll counties. At the same time, we have a wind advisory that will take place starting at 10 a.m. That will then go through 1 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So we're going to tackle the winter weather advisory first and talk about tonight's forecast because this is where things can get a little bit dicey. Winds are here. They're going to be out of the south to start. This is really going to help us to warm up. But as we move through the latter part of the night, by midnight, we're still dry. Here on the western door, though, comes the snow. And at first, we will have snow moving through, light accumulations of 1 to 3 inches through the overnight tonight. The real tricky part comes at about 6 a.m., just in time for everybody to get their day going. We have snow that will transition to sleet and then to freezing rain. And at the same time, look how these winds have started to kick in. By 9 a.m., it looks like all of our major highways will be in the thick of things. But remember, we have had a lot of salt put on these roads. So I think the roads actually are going to be okay tomorrow. We are not looking at a massive amount of ice. We are looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow and then a glazing of freezing rain on top of that. So what does that mean for your morning tomorrow? Well, it could mean some school closings or delays. 40% chance west of I-71 and farther south. 30% or less chance for areas farther to the east will be dealing with that snow. So plan a couple extra minutes for tomorrow. I would wake up early. If you park outside, you're going to be scraping the car. If you walk outside, keep an eye out for slick spots on sidewalks, decks, steps, those types of things. And keep in mind also, it will be very windy and we could have some isolated power problems as we go through the day. Later in the day, it's just rain, temperatures in the 40s, and a lot of wind. But our biggest problems will come before noon. We'll go through all this again, and we'll talk about the rest of your forecast, which has a few more little tricks up its sleeve, coming up in just a few minutes. Russ?
All right, Betsy, see you soon. Thank you. There are new developments this evening in the search for that missing plane in Lake Erie, and the victims were remembered today by family and friends. We have team coverage of this still developing story. Jasmine Monroe will give us a look at more challenges recovery crews face. But we begin with Carly Flynn Morgan with an update on what was found in the water today. Carly, good evening to you.
Good evening, Russ. The city of Cleveland confirms that crews have removed what look to be significant pieces of that plane from Lake Erie, including what could turn out to be the fuselage and seats. Our camera witnessed boat crews at work all afternoon and caught the moments those pieces were pulled from the water. It takes a long time to recover, so we've sped up the video for you so you can get a complete look at how it happened. Just after 1:30 p.m. today, we watched as the crane on this boat lifted up a large piece of debris. In relation to the people on board, it looked to be at least 10 feet in length. You can see it spin and dangle here, and then the crew is able to lower it onto the boat. Then a bit later in the day, just after 3 o'clock, the same crew pulls another piece from the water. It too looks like it could be up to 10 feet in length. These two chunks of debris were recovered from the same spot in the lake. This crew left the area just after 3:30. Now, in order to make all of this possible, an Army Corps of Engineers tugboat had to break through the ice so other boats could follow and get to work. Our cameras caught that happening earlier this morning. Now, along with boats, the search today included a dive team, a helicopter, and crews on foot continuing to patrol the shoreline. It is a slow but steady search. And for more of a look now on how far this investigation has come, I'm joined by my colleague, Jasmine Monroe. Good evening, Jasmine.
Good evening to you, Carly. The search for the missing Cessna has been a huge process along the way. Now, it hasn't been easy for crews, but they say it has been slow going, but major progress has been made along the way. It all started on Thursday, December 29th, when the Flemings, along with the Casey family, took a flight out of Burke Lakefront Airport right after the Cleveland Cavaliers game. Plane takes off from Burke Lakefront Airport, and within seconds, it goes missing. Early Friday, December 30th, the Coast Guard, along with the first responders, went searching for the missing aircraft. But on New Year's Eve, the investigation was handed over to the city of Cleveland as a search and recovery effort, but still no plane in sight. Things quickly changed on New Year's Day when the pilot's briefcase was found near the shoreline. The following Monday and Tuesday, crews recovered more than 120 pieces of debris. But the big news came Friday, January 6th, when crews recovered a passenger seat that may have contained human remains from the missing plane and a voice recorder. And while there are still questions left unsaid right now, today there was a memorial set for the Fleming family. These cards were given to everyone who attended that memorial. A family member of that family tells me that they recognize the crew members, thanking them for how much progress they have been made along the way. Russ, back to you.
Jasmine and Carly, thank you both. And now a story about a Cleveland Clinic doctor who's facing backlash from the hospital, including discipline, over a controversial article published Friday online. The issue, vaccines. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, now joined us with the story, which continues to pick up a lot of national attention. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Russ. Yeah, it really is. Dr. Daniel Needis is a primary care physician at Cleveland Clinic. He's also the medical director and COO of the clinic's Wellness Institute. But tonight, his future is in question after the article he wrote created a PR nightmare and possibly tarnished the reputation of Cleveland Clinic. The title says, make 2017 the year to avoid toxins, good luck, and master your domain, words on wellness. But the controversial content may have cost Dr. Daniel Needis his future at Cleveland Clinic. In it, he rants about toxins in the environment and in vaccines, misinformation that is confusing and damaging to Cleveland Clinic's credibility, including the autism argument that has been disproven, saying, quote, does the vaccine burden, as has been debated for years, cause autism? I don't know and will not debate that here. Yet goes on to say, quote, so let me be clear, vaccines can be helpful when used properly. A strong-worded clinic statement reiterated its position, saying, quote, Cleveland Clinic is fully committed to evidence-based medicine. Harmful myths and untruths about vaccinations have been scientifically debunked in rigorous ways. We completely support vaccinations to protect people, especially children who are particularly vulnerable. Needis then issued an apology statement saying, "I apologize and regret publishing a blog that has caused so much concern and confusion for the public and medical community. I fully support vaccinations, and my concern was meant to be positive around the safety of them." On Twitter, dozens of doctors shared outrage, one saying, "Needis' article just made our job so much harder." Cleveland Clinic wellness guru Dr. Mike Roizen commented that while vaccines are not perfectly safe, they prevent over 40,000 serious, life-threatening or disabling illnesses for every one they cause. Others called for an end to Needis' career, saying no apology necessary. Science deniers have no place in medicine. The national media also weighed in with the scope of the fallout. A Forbes contributor saying, "I wouldn't trust an ounce of medical advice from Cleveland Clinic anymore." Her article goes on to debunk every point in Needis' blog. Now, the clinic stated that Needis published his statement without authorization from them, and they added that his views do not reflect those of the Cleveland Clinic. They also said appropriate disciplinary action will be taken, but what that is remains to be seen. The clinic typically does not release personnel matters and discipline issues in the public. Russ, back to you.
Again, very controversial, but Monica, did the doctor have any support in this?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of support from the anti-vaccination movement for his views, most of which, keep in mind, questioned the chemicals used in both vaccines and our food supply. And while he still supports vaccinations, he and many doctors also agree that further study is still necessary relating to that.
Okay.
Back to you.
Monica Robbins at the Cleveland Clinic. Thank you. Coming up tonight, it is freezing now, but summer in Cleveland got hotter today. We've got news of some more big-name music artists coming to town, and we'll tell you how you can beat ticket brokers at their own game. Don't go change it. We'll be right back.
One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up tonight at 7, does it seem like every time you turn around your kids need something? Well, new numbers are now out. Find out what it really costs to raise a child. And Americans' love for the automobile. Also at 7, we'll kick some tires and see what's new over at the Detroit Auto Show. Those stories and many more coming up in less than an hour.
New this evening, the push to raise Cleveland's minimum wage to $15 an hour has been dropped for now. Raise Up Cleveland, the main group behind the movement, announced plans to suspend its campaign. This comes after Ohio lawmakers passed a law last month stating only the state can raise the minimum wage. The group says it's evaluating the next steps to take its effort statewide. It is going to be one cool summer in Cleveland. The legendary U2 announced today their Joshua Tree Tour 2017 will hit First Energy Stadium on July 1st. Also joining the growing list coming to Northeast Ohio this summer, Green Day. They'll be at Blossom on August 21st. Okay, you say you want tickets. We do know they will be hard to come by, but our investigative consumer reporter Danielle Serino is here with the scoop on how to score them. Hi, Danielle.
Well, Russ, all I can say is good luck, because basically the system is rigged. The best tickets never go to the public, and if you're lucky enough to snag them, you're going to pay a huge price, but there are things you can do.
See the storm set in your eye.
U2, Ariana Grande, The Piano Man, just some of the must-see shows coming to Cleveland. But if you're looking to score tickets, just know the fix is in.
More than half of the tickets are not even made available to the general public for sale.
That's the Attorney General in New York State, whose own 3-year investigation showed most of the tickets for big shows are set aside for agents, promoters, and sponsors, along with pre-sales.
These are tickets that are reserved for people who get special access with preferred credit cards or through fan clubs.
Much of what's left is scooped up by brokers using computer software known as ticket bots.
It took a single bot just 1 minute to buy more than 1,000 tickets to a U2 concert last summer at Madison Square Garden.
Those tickets end up with resellers where you can get them for a price.
If you look on StubHub right now, you'll see Super Bowl tickets starting at $3,700 and going all the way up to about $50,000 per ticket.
But despite a new federal law banning bots, they're being used everywhere. And worse for Ohioans, there are no state laws banning scalpers. So it would be nice if our legislators passed some ticket sale laws. I mean, when free tickets to see Pope Francis can be resold for thousands of dollars, there's a problem.
Scalping tickets for the Pope is about as low as you can get, and we have to take action.
So what's a regular person to do? Well, your best bet is to scoop them up before they go on sale to the public. And you can find out about pre-sales by joining the artist's fan club. They often save tickets for their followers. Going through your credit card company. They also offer pre-sales. And finally, follow the artists and the big ticket sellers on Twitter and their Facebook pages, because they'll also give you codes to buy tickets early. Now, if you still end up empty-handed, you got to check with the box office in the days before the concert, because often tickets that they say were sold somehow automatically end up for sale again.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's a racket that's going on.
Danielle Serino, welcome to Channel 3.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited.
The viewers at home know you. You were at Brand X for years.
That station,
but
yes.
now you're over here,
No
and it's
long.
wonderful to have you here at Channel 3.
Yeah, and you were a big part of me coming here, so
Well, I don't know
thank
about
you
all
so
that,
much.
but
You
welcome.
are, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. Betsy Kling is in charge over at the weather wall once again, and hopefully she's got some better news for us, but I'm guessing not.
Well, things unfortunately look like they're going to be holding steady, and the temperature profiles look to be holding steady here at the surface. The problem is things are changing aloft, and it is a bit of a race against the clock for us. Through the midnight hour, everybody, we got no problems. It's a little breezy out there. Temperatures are in the 20s, so the wind chills are down in the teens. That's a far cry from where we have been over the past couple days. And believe it or not, those cold temperatures over the weekend, those are a huge part of our forecast. That really put a deep chill into the ground of northern Ohio. And now as we start to get warming going on and we have this chance for all of this mixing icy rain, you have to remember the ground temperatures will come up a lot slower than the air temperatures. So even though the air temperature may be 35, the ground temperature may still be 30 or 31. That's where we start to get into freezing rain issues. Currently, our air temperatures are in the mid and upper 20s. It's been a really actually nice afternoon, a lot warmer than it has been, but the warmer temperatures off to the southwest really will start to pull in here as we go through the night and the day tomorrow. It's all because of a big storm system that's moving northeastward through the Great Lakes region. That's going to help to bring in a lot of this heat heat, and it's also going to help to bring in a lot of moisture, and it's the combination of those two coming in over our cold ground that really starts to set the stage for concerns for tomorrow morning. But we are not in freak out mode in any way, shape, or form. Most of that has to do with the fact that we have a lot of salt already on the roads. I think that's going to help a lot. Now, we do have a winter weather advisory. Keep in mind that will be 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's when our problems will really start to set up. Then after that, starting at 10 a.m. and continuing all day, we have a wind advisory, and that wind is definitely going to get your attention as we go through the day. So in the morning, that's when we have the icy mix problems. Then the winds will be zipping as we head through the afternoon. Check this out, 8 a.m., winds sustained out of the south-southeast, 10 to 25, but late day, look how these high winds come in. And keep in mind, too, with rain coming, we could get some extra little speed jumps coming in here. So winds at 30 miles per hour sustained, gusts to 45 possible as the rain makes a comeback later in the day. Let's go through future view. We'll do hour by hour for you. Wind chills here in the blue, air temperatures in the white. 9 p.m., we're fine. By midnight, now we're starting to look at a snow chance west of Cleveland. That snow will spread across the area through the early morning. By the time the heart of the commute gets going, look at this, snow coming in. That snow will change to sleet and then to a glazing of freezing rain. This is 8 a.m. This is when a lot of people are headed out the door. Then we'll get a break midday. Temperatures jump. That's good. And then more rain starts to come in as we go through the late day into the evening. So our icy mix problems are in the morning, and that's when a lot of this is going to be happening, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow, and then a glazing of ice on top of that as we go through the morning. Again, we do have chances for eye alerts, especially west, and then lesser chances farther to the east. I think a lot of that will just depend upon how the roads are going with that snow that's coming in. Here's your Window Nation forecast. Boy, we got a lot happening, don't we? Windy, temperatures in the 40s, icy mix to rain tomorrow, and that's just day one. Now we got the rest of the forecast to talk about. 50s with breezy rain showers on Wednesday. Thursday will fall back from the 50s early into the 40s, but no freezing problems there with breezy conditions. Friday we get a break. Late Saturday, we bring rain back into the area, and we have more rain coming Sunday to Monday next week. I think a big thing, too, is a lot of dog owners are going to have a lot of paws to clean up. It's going to be a mucky mess over the next several days.
That salt as well. You want to get that salt away.
Yeah.
Yeah, not freak out mode. I like that part of the forecast.
Definitely not freak out mode, but I think, you know, we're going to have a few issues tomorrow morning. Just stay on your toes and, of course, allow extra time.
That's right. Be careful. All right, Betsy. Thank you. Coming up, a former Metter High School quarterback has decided to enter the NFL draft. Could he be playing in a Browns uniform next season? Jimmy will tell us about that when we return.
Bunch of stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hey, Al, could you turn that off?
And a fever, and it feels like crap. It's 14 freaking degrees outside.
Oh my God.
It's just like.
Happy Saturday.
This was yesterday.
Black is fine.
I was like, I'm taking a nap this afternoon, and nobody's stopping me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was brutal.
And now, the Kia of Bedford and Hyundai of Bedford Sports Report.
Hi, everybody. More news about the Browns coaching staff, and this one is a subtraction. It is now looking like Pep Hamilton is leaving the Cleveland Browns as Hugh Jackson's right-hand man with the offense and going to the University of Michigan with his old buddy Jim Harbaugh, who he coached with at Stanford and coached Andrew Luck when he was there as the Cardinal quarterback. Pep Hamilton would become the passing game coordinator and assistant head coach. That's good work if you can get it. You don't have to worry about the running game, I guess, if you're the passing game coordinator. Here's the situation, I think, how this boils down. The Michigan job, very stable. I mean, more stable than here. The other situation, Hugh Jackson calls the plays here in Cleveland and coaches the quarterbacks. That's what Pep does, and so now he'll do it again with Jim Harbaugh. Now, some other big news, and this is big news locally. The pride of Mentor, Mitch Trubisky, the quarterback at the University of North Carolina, is giving up his last year in college and making himself available for the NFL draft. He has declared for the draft. He started only 1 year for the Tar Heels, but he was very good. 8-5. Mel Kiper of ESPN has him as the #1 quarterback prospect coming into the draft. Now, the tale of the tape. He's 22 years old, 6'3", 220 pounds, and he can really throw the ball. He threw 30 touchdown passes this year, only 6 interceptions, but the downside is he only started 1 year at North Carolina. Do you remember him on Friday Night Fever? He was magnificent with the Mentor Cardinals. He attended Mentor. He was tremendous. Career numbers in high school, 92 touchdowns. He could throw it. He could run it. He was named Mr. Football in Ohio in 2012. No one's a bigger fan than his high school coach, Steve Trevisato, who says, the Browns need a quarterback. What should they do with Mitch?
That's up to the Browns. I think Mitch is going to prepare himself in the next 3 months to make the decision tough on him. And I think he will make it tough on him. And they've got to decide do they want to take him with the #1 pick? Because I'm not sure he'll be there for the 12th.
Well, there you go. I think you're right about that. How about this? Curtis Samuel, the nifty running back and wide receiver for the Ohio State Buckeyes, no more. He's leaving. He's going to go to the NFL draft, too. Boy, they open up the door in Columbus, and they're all filing out. He's the 5th player now to declare for the draft. He's projected to go in the 2nd round. But what he gives you is a guy that can run the ball and catch the ball out of the backfield. College football, it all ends tonight with a beauty. A rematch from last year, the national championship game down in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Alabama taking on Clemson. Last year, a beauty. Alabama outlasted them 45-40. They've won 26 in a row. They're going for their 5th national title in the last 8 years. Amazing. Clemson has had a great finish, shutting out Ohio State. Both coaches ready for this big one tonight.
If I was going to pick who the 2 best teams are, I would say the 2 best teams are here. And that's the way it should be.
With what Coach Saban has done, the amount of championships in the span of time, with scholarships, and I mean, it's just incredible.
Cavs are off tonight. They're back on tomorrow night, and they're out west. So far, the West Coast road trip's going well. They're 2-0. They'll play Utah tomorrow night. But what about this Mike Dunleavy situation? And when do we get Kyle Korver? Maybe tomorrow night, because Dunleavy has met with the coaching staff with the Atlanta Hawks. It looks as though he's going to report to them. If he does, then Korver can join the Cavaliers. He's waiting in the wings. He's with them, sitting out there, waiting to join the team. Okay.
And that was the mystery. Dunleavy was not going to report to the Hawks,
because
right?
he was hoping they would just cut him loose and then he could become a free agent.
Right. Okay, just to underscore, we're talking about Mr. Football, not Johnny Football.
No.
Right. Okay.
Big difference, Russ.
All right, just
Thanks for pointing that out.
We're still not in freak out mode.
Sorry.
I broke out in a sweat.
Too soon, perhaps? Jimmy and Betsy, tonight back at 7 o'clock. Lester's up next. I'll see you at 11. Good night, everybody.